Pickacard. How are you surprising others? Here are your options, and I'll see you at your reading. Hi friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Grisel with Toughdolltarot, and I'm here to do your reading pile number 1. You chose this lovely image on the right hand side of the screen. And we're here to look at how are you surprising others. So I'd like to take a moment to thank all of you guys for being here, showing up, all of your subscriptions, all of you commenting. I think it's really super sweet, very encouraging as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get an idea and reveal to us all, how are you surprising others? I'm going to go ahead and mix the deck in 3, 2, 1. Pile number 1, how are you surprising others? You have the 3 of Swords. You have the Knight of Cups. You have the World. And you have the Chariot. Pile number 1, I really feel like you are surprising others, first of all, because you're way tougher than what you look. Right before I started rolling, I got this image in my head of the actual image that you chose for pile number 1. And I feel like people thought that you were really soft, very gentle. And it's not that those things do not exist or it's a facade, not at all. I feel like people misunderstand or make the wrong assessment because maybe you appear dreamy or you've undergone really tough things, such as the 3 of Swords really indicates. And you can get into your emotions. But what they fail to realize is that you have an incredible amount of resilience. How you're surprising others is that people are starting to really see and understand that you've taken that heartache, that heartbreak, those musings, those times when you appear to be in your head and maybe dreaming. You were actually really processing things. And I feel like you've undergone a massive transformation, and that is how you're surprising others. If you look right here, we have the Knight of Cups, and this is somebody who's very generous with their feelings, but they could also be in love with love. And I feel like once upon a time, that could have been your narrative, or you were incredibly sentimental or viewed as just being sentimental. And they just mistook that for a weakness. Now, I feel like you're surprising others in the fact that you realize that you could be very dualistic, that, you know, you're going to react according to the situation and according to how you've been treated and so on and so forth. So with the Knight of Cups, I feel like there's still this love, this giving, and this gentle musing about you. But you are very quick to pull the trigger if it is not beneficial, if it's not helpful, if it's harmful. You're going to end things quickly. And I feel like you, in a lot of ways, have grown up in the eyes of others. Now, it doesn't matter your age. I'm not talking age. I mean mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I feel like you've taken a full hand on your own narrative and decided the buck stops here. We're not doing this any longer. And I may appear dreamy, and I may be very forgiving, and I may be very empathic. And indeed, I might be very romantic. But I'm not going to allow that to dominate my decisions or people to take advantage of that. Now, with the World, this talks to me about a successful completion of an era, a turning of a page, a new chapter, if you will. And pile number 1, you could have an affiliation with pile number 2, because I kind of felt that in my mind's eye. But I feel like currently you have closed chapters, and people find great mystery in how you did it and why you did it, and so on and so forth. You could have beautiful long hair like this, not necessarily, but you could just have beautiful hair in general. You could indeed look a little bit like her. I also feel like you have a connection to the World Wide Web. That sounds so old school. But I feel like how you're surprising others is maybe perhaps you have really transformed in the eye or in the lens of the internet. Okay, in the days and age of social media, that is one pissed off squirrel. Okay. Well, I don't know what hit the side of the house, but I'm going to say that you could actually, your transformation and your changing and how you're surprising other people can really have served to piss people off, okay? But regardless, I feel like you're being your most authentic and true to yourself. I feel like there's great beauty in you, and you seem to have this maturity that people didn't really see and understand before, because they felt like they were dealing with somebody wistful, whimsical, somebody in their mind, somebody with their head in the clouds, and so on and so forth. And now how you're surprising others is the moves that you make. Pile number one, it is not like this is completely unexpected, at least not to you. I feel like you've gone within, you've done a lot of shadow work, you really understand the great parts about you and the not so great parts about you, but you also understand that we're human. We're not perfect, and we're human beings, not human doings. So pile number one, you're surprising others in the way that you motivate yourself, in the way that you align yourself, in the way that you can take things which perhaps were viewed once upon a time as incompatible or misproportionate or misaligned, and you actually are able to connect the dots and make an alignment and head towards a whole different trajectory. I feel like you guys have really changed your life entirely. And the image that you chose felt like very soft, very like kitten-esque, very warm, fuzzy. And that's still there. I don't feel like you're jaded at all, but I feel like you have it's almost like having a velvet glove on a robotic hand or an iron hand, you know? Let's see what else we have. Oof. You have the Star. Pile number one, a dream come true. Believe in yourself, the end of a difficult situation with Archangel Jophiel. Let's just get this to come in clear. These cameras are just wilding for me. Yeah, I'm going to say that you've achieved a lot of healing, but also you are following your North Node, your North Star. I feel like this is your purpose, your reason for being, your biggest desire. And I feel like that's also lighting a lamp into a very, very dark world at a critical time when you are desperately needed. Pile number one, if you resonate with this, please do give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell and make sure that it is turned on if you want to see me in further readings. But yeah, you are currently a lamp to the world. I feel like with all of this indigo, the purples going on, you're very connected to source, and you could have an incredible activation on your crown chakra. And I'm going to tell you how that feels. You probably already know this, but initially I was getting a lot of like stabbing feeling on the crown of my head, and it felt like something was embedded in there, and it wasn't physical, but it really felt physical. And of course, I am not a medical doctor, so get things taken care of and checked out as you need to, but this is my own experience. And I feel like that was even further crown chakra activation, crown chakra elevation. So you could be experiencing those because your crown chakra is definitely lit. I'm going to say that. Pile number one, how are you surprising others with your strength with Archangel Ariel? I feel like above all, you are seeking peace, and you've really conquered a lot of what you wrestled with once upon a time, with wanting to be sentimental, with giving people the benefit of the doubt over and over and over again. I feel like you operate from a place of wisdom currently, and you have strength and grace through kindness, yeah, and self-confidence and forgiveness. So it's not that you become this hardened person, but I feel like if you see somebody currently like repeating patterns or headed down a very bad path, you are not about to get dragged into that scuffle. So pile number one, I feel like you're making wise moves. You're embracing your creativity also is what I just heard. You're embracing your healing, and thereby I feel like you are actually making a really big change in this world. Pile one, how are you surprising others? Is the Empress. That's what I was feeling is this is the Empress. Time to act upon your plans. Creativity is rewarded, luxurious or abundant resources. So You could be really with the number 3, collaborating, cooperating. You could be throwing in your lot with other people to kind of further your, I don't know, your means. With the Empress, this tells me that you have been really working on things for a long time. Like, it's been in a period of gestation. So you could have really had a lot of ideas and notions that you wanted to birth and bring forward into the world. Whether male or female, it doesn't make a difference. And I feel like you did this in secret, in the quiet, but there is a rainbow over her head. And of course, the crown chakra is popping right here. I feel like you're very well equipped. Animals and children love you. I feel like things thrive under your gaze, under your care, direct care. You have been all of the queens at one point or another, and you have that ability to bring out whatever it is that you need at the time. The resources and the wisdom. But how you're currently surprising others is your level of abundance and how you feel about yourself and how you've been able to transform your image. And it's not just about like how you look and your aesthetics and so on and so forth, but I feel like you're bringing forward this healing vibe and this quiet strength about you. And it is actually incredibly beautiful. It's very subtle, noticeable, but also it's very formidable. Pile number 1. Only to those who wish you harm or want to control and dominate is what I'm hearing. How are you surprising others? Pile number 1. Success comes from objective compromise, self-control, and patience, forgiving and healing energy. So you've been able to find solutions. You've been able to find that little ray of sunshine in the dark, in a very, very dark world. I feel like maybe perhaps you've had to make your own light, your own fire. You've had to really communicate with spirit. Maybe you've been somebody who's been like in deep prayer on and off or all the time. But I feel like you have this deep connection, soul connection, that you've traveled far and had many hardships. So with the number 14, the solutions have brought about the number 5. It reduces to 5 in numerology. And pile number 1, I'm going to say that you've had a lot of changes, a lot of fluctuations, a lot of turbulence. I'm hearing turbulence, similar to Star Trek, right? When they would get into these like massive warp speed things and they would yell turbulence and everybody would just... My husband would hate that. I would, kind of shake him, and it was not nice of me, but I did. I'd be all turbulence and shake him. But I feel like that's what's really transpired, is that you have an ability to, with your solutions, really cause quite a bit of turbulence, but things fall in order. And whatever has been misaligned becomes aligned. And things become streamlined when you are involved. It could feel like in a very chaotic way, but this is how things really fall into alignment when you are around. And that's how you shock others. I'd like to get 2 more right here, please. How are you surprising others? Pile number 1. How are you surprising others, please? Perspective. Oh, shift. I'm all perspective E-shift. No. It's a perspective shift. Yeah, you help people have a different perspective. Phase of deep questioning, seeing through the lies and delusions. Stop seeing life as you once did. Yep, that's what we just talked about. Confirmed right here. And the fact that you are willing to roll up your sleeves. You're not willing to go into la la land, in spite of it being so much easier to follow the narrative or the preset templates or the railroad tracks that have been already laid out. I feel like you're willing to rearrange those and do the hard work to get something more effective and more authentic. So hard work to unlock your potential. Things in life won't come easy. Learning the value of hard work. And I feel like people are really surprised at your ability to not give up. I heard the word relentless. But the interesting part is that for me, the word relentless has some negative connotations. So maybe perhaps you do have some people that view this as you being relentless, but it is actually very healing and it's incredibly strong. And I feel like you're not going to stop for anyone. So that's what I have for you. Much, much love to you. Until next time, namaste. Hi, Palcho. My name is Griselle with Toughdolltarot. And I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 2. You chose this image on the right-hand side of the screen. I'm going to go ahead and light a little bit of sagey sage, just because we can. How are you surprising others? And based on the image that you chose, pile number 2, I got that you're really chiseled. I heard well done and made up, okay? Almost like if you wear makeup, that you are somebody who likes to really do the contours and definitions and so on and so forth. And even the word chiseled, I feel like that wasn't even strictly physical. It could be, but I feel like your ideas might be like chiseled in stone. A little bit like firm, a little bit set. How are you surprising others? I got a little bit maybe of a gothic look. And perhaps that you wear more makeup than others. I certainly do. And also, pile number 2, that you seem aloof, but sufficient. Aloof, but sweet. Aloof, but enticing at the same time. So we're going to go ahead and get more information for you. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle, and I'll see you in a minute. Pile number 2, welcome to my channel. Pile number 2, how are you surprising others? You have the Knight of Cups. Did this come out in pile number 1 as well? You have the 2 of Swords. You have the 4 of Coins. And you have the Death card. Pile number 2, the first thing that stands out to me, this Knight of Cups right here, this Knight of Cups typically, in my view anyways, is in love with love. So you could have also, because I'm seeing like dualistic, you could have Gemini placements, not necessarily. Or you could be viewed as being dualistic also. Maybe even somebody who likes to reminisce quite a bit. But how you are being viewed currently, how you're surprising others, is that maybe once upon a time you were a hopeless romantic. And I feel like you're closing your eyes to that. You're not looking to romance at this time, or to love in the romantic sense, I guess. You could be, but I feel like most of you guys are not. With the 2 of Swords right here, I feel like you are definitely standing on 10, like 10 toes down. You got your own 6. I feel like you are in the middle of a stalemate right here, that you have a lot of strength to put a stop to whatever it is that doesn't really suit the narrative. And I feel like you're listening for truth and for facts and for wisdom, because I feel like maybe perhaps your eyes lied to you. And this could involve anything. This could involve like, you know, I don't trust myself because I believe what people said, and yet they turned around and did something completely different. Things like that. So it doesn't necessarily have to be. I am never going to get the camera angles right. But that's kind of what I'm feeling. And then with the 2 of Swords here, you have the ability to really make a lot of decisions, a lot of choices that surprise people. I think your strategy is very surprising to others. Pile number 2. And the fact that you, if you don't have all the information, you are going to withdraw, pull away. You are going to listen to your internal dialogue. You are going to digest other people's words, as well as you are going to commune with spirit in order to really get the most logical answer. And this can take a day, can take 2 months, 2 years. It doesn't make a difference. I feel like you, above all else, are in the mode of protecting your heart and of making wise decisions. Now, I just got like a little bit of a head rush, like lightheadedness. So maybe some of you guys are having an issue, I don't know, with like vertigo or being lightheaded, or you have to move a little bit slower. Otherwise, you get a head rush. That could be for somebody. I would say probably less than 1% or 1%. But how are you surprising others? Pile number 2. You're surprising others because no matter how they attack you, they want to attack you from behind. They want to pull you back towards them. They want to kind of revert you into whom and what you were before. But I feel like you're undergoing a massive transformation, especially with the Death card right here. It is all about transformation. It is about an ability to power through any scenario, any case that doesn't really become you. You have withdrawn. Again, this is another card like Four of Coins, Four of Pentacles is holding on to things, really ruminating over them possibly, but also not allowing people, because he's holding his chest, right, to see what is going on in your heart per se. I think that you really could have been someone that was really open and vulnerable once upon a time, but you know, the blows that life gives us, hey, we have these, I guess the pine cones are falling against the side of the house. But the blows that we sustain throughout this thing called life, right, in this 3D world could really have caused you to really withdraw and hold your heart separately. I also feel like people could be like chasing you, wanting and grabbing like what they want. And it's like, well, you always gave it freely before. You always gave love. You always forgave. You always, and so on and so forth. But I feel a massive transformation here. And so I definitely feel like it's almost like a massive transformation, like the Dark Night of the Soul transformation. But everything as you have known it and everything that you have seen thus far has really transformed. I feel like there's an element, I'm seeing like a band-aid being ripped off, a wound that has been healing or needing healing. I also see that the age of innocence or the age of being asleep or the age of going with the false narrative is what I'm hearing in my mind is over with, and you really had to kind of withdraw and put a box of protection over your heart. I actually saw like a clear box. And so I do feel like people are pulling on you energetically or pulling on you in this 3D world saying, hey, pile number 2, come hang out, come do this, come do that. And you're like in the middle of something important. So you're not really doing much of that. I'm going to say that. Pile number 2, if you're liking my content at all, if it has helped you, I'd like for you to please like, share, comment, subscribe. I've noticed that less than 27% of people that view my videos are subscribed. I definitely like to get those numbers up if at all possible. Pile number 2, how are you surprising others? The Lovers. My voice cracked. Crack. The Lovers with Archangel Raphael. Make choices from your heart deeply. Emotional commitments and the power of love. And I feel like maybe perhaps you've been making an assessment. Am I coming from a place of love? Am I doing this from a place of love or out of habit or out of other people's expectation or because I want to satisfy other people's wants and needs? And that's a big thing that you could be wrestling with or sifting through. Pile number 2, the Ace of Raphael. A positive new emotional experience, fulfilling romantic relationships, and deep, lasting spiritual insight. So yeah, this really confirms that you've undergone a lot of growth and you still have those emotions and you still are who you are. But I heard in my mind's voice, I heard I am what I am, right? Like Popeye, if any of you guys watch old school cartoons and he eats the spinach and he just really talks about like I am what I am. It's just kind of funny to me. 6 of Ariel. Get that to come in closer here. So how are you supporting others? Maternal needs get fulfilled in magical and unexpected ways. Material. Acts of kindness, giving or receiving with a grateful heart. So interesting. So maybe you have some like maternal instincts and maybe it doesn't matter if you are a parent, male, female, all of us have that nurturing within us, but because I saw material is maternal, I want to address this as well, is that maybe that desire to give to other people and so on and so forth, that is considered typically maternal, and that you have found new ways to act in kindness, but also you're the recipient of those kindnesses. And of course, with the material needs getting fulfilled in magical and unexpected ways, I feel like pile number 2, you're an incredible manifester and people really are shocked at what you're manifesting with the pink right here and the green. I feel like you are attracting a lot of love towards you, a lot of like purity. And I want to say just love that doesn't expect anything from you. I feel like that has not been the case in the past with all these hands clawing at you. Pile number 2, you could have been sort of like the target of other people that were simply like wanting, like selfishness, like I want from you, not simply I want to give to you. So good for you. And pile number 2, how are you surprising others? The Four of Gabriel. It's time for celebration, abundant rewards for hard work. Release yourself from burdensome situations. And that's what I feel like you've been doing with this guy right here. And also the number 44 or the 444 could be important to you. You could be seeing this and reoccurring numbers. You've had to make some choices. And this could be with a lover or somebody of equal importance. And whether you are going to continue, like if you are of the same cloth, if you are headed in the right direction, and so on and so forth. And I feel like with the Four of Coins right here, you just really put a stop to everything. And now it is a time of renewal. I feel like how you're surprising other people is what you're manifesting. How you're surprising people is those people said, well, pile number 2, they're a dreamer and they're all heart and I can get whatever I want out of them. I just got to massage their brain and so on. And I feel like currently you are seeing the value of not allowing those things to be true any longer, because certainly when you needed or wanted something, that was not forthcoming. And the reason why I feel that way is because right here with the Six of Ariel, material needs get fulfilled in a magical and unexpected ways. I feel like there has been lack on your part. Like other people have received freely and you've given freely. But I feel like that is no longer the case. With the Death card being present right here, I feel like you have once again taken control of your narrative. You've really made an assessment and you don't act unless you have the full view, the full communication, and the clarity in order to proceed. If you do something, you're going to proceed with pretty much as much information as you possibly can have. If it's ambiguous, if it's an implication, you're not going to pursue anything like that. And you're not going to allow it in your life either. So pile number 2, how are you surprising others? How are you surprising others, please? Yeah, with the World card. Putting an ending to things. This could also be a connection to World Wide Web. This is maybe you are manifesting more freedom. You're manifesting more opportunities. You're manifesting connections into, let's say, like the internet, and you're collaborating with other people. Six of Swords. Yeah, okay. So pile number 2, I feel like you guys are likely to be a lot of like readers here, or energy healers, massage therapists, acupuncturists, Reiki healers, and so on and so forth. With the Six of Swords coming up, I feel like you are manifesting a lot of applause, actually. How you're surprising other people is that you're willing to get your hands dirty. This person right here, she's an angel and she's got her hands all red. They look like I don't know if I can say these words on YouTube because it's so sensitive, the algorithms and the AI anyways, but I feel like you've been burned really horribly. And maybe you've reached into the fire to really recuperate the remnants of what has been you. And you've recuperated the best parts of you. And you have the Two of Swords right here. And people are really celebrating you currently. And again, this could be online. They could be celebrating your transformation, your ability to take back your power. But I also feel that the transformation is being celebrated on the other side by perhaps your ancestors or your spirit team. And last but not least, I feel like the Page of Cups. So in the end, you've been able to really undergo these hardships and come back to yourself and really give to other people mentally, emotionally. I feel like people feel that they can come towards you, but they know that they cannot come towards you with some fuckery, right? Sorry to be so blunt, but you will not stand for it. And I feel like they have seen this. And so because of that, you are still welcoming and loving and caring as you ever were, but you've got limits. And if somebody comes at you or approaches you with a false narrative, or that they're just trying to take something from you, or the vibe is just not right, you will put a stop to it. And I feel like that gives you an incredible comfort and an incredible sense of like just being like I can be. I don't have to look fierce. I don't have to be like a badass, because I have confidence that I can take care of myself, and that I can also really manifest that which is what I need to survive in this life. Let's see. I know this reading's a little bit longer, but here we are. Pile number 2. I'd like to know a little bit more about How are you surprising others? I'd like to know why the Six of Ariel is here, because I do feel like you're laying down a foundation. Other people are celebrating you. Yes, you are a spiritual warrior. Relentless commitment to challenges approaches life as a personal battle here to master your forceful nature. So you've mastered yourself and you're able to protect and serve, I hear, in hard work, okay? So you, again, might have a tie to pile 1. If you felt tied in between both piles, maybe you might want to watch both for an additional set of messages. But keep in mind, these are general messages. If you'd like a personal one, you could visit my Etsy shop in the description below. That's what I have for you. Thank you so much for your time. Until next time, namaste. Hi, pile number 3. My name is Griselle with Toughdolltarot, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 3, you chose this lovely image on the right-hand side of the screen. And I got downloads, but I want to light a little bit of sagey sage. Also, while we're doing that, if you can please like, share, and comment if this is your jam, if you're liking these kind of readings. If you want to see my channel pop up on your feed once more, do make sure that you pay attention to the subscribe and the little alarm bell. If you turn on your notification, you'll have to do it deliberately. And now for the shuffle and 3. Pile number 3, how are you surprising others? If you are liking this type of content, please let me know by taking a moment to like, share, comment, and subscribe. It is literally free. And also, if you want to see my content again, please do turn on that notification bell. Pile number 3, how are you surprising others? You have Temperance. You have the Empress. You have the Lovers, and you have the Knight of Swords. So first of all, pile number 3, right as I was shuffling, I couldn't really tell you because I do it to music, right? But as I was shuffling, what I heard from Spirit say is that some of you guys could be like considered critters, or you could be involved in like Dungeons and Dragons or role-playing, right? Or dressing like furries. I don't know your life. This is, you know, entirely you. And it could fit, but keep in mind, I think this would be like less than maybe 10% of the population. These are general readings. Now, the other thing that I heard is that some of you guys are involved in the kink community, and you are well known for being, for example, like a dominatrix or a bunny. I forget what they call them, where they suspend them. Yeah, that kind of a thing. But you could be involved. Well, if you know, you know. Anyways, if you guys are brave enough, put it in the comments below, because I totally forgot what it's called. But a rope bunny, that's what it's called. Yeah. So whatever your thing is, I feel like it leads like one impression, or that is the vibe that people initially get. But then they are shocked and stunned when they realize that you are a completely different person on the inside. So you're like a hard shell on the outside and very soft on the inside. And I heard tasty as well. So pile number 3, how are you surprising others, is Temperance. I feel like, yeah, you have achieved a level of balance, that you're not overly sweet, overly harsh. But also with Temperance, this is about healing. This is about transmuting. And that you have really maybe come from a time or an era where things were really tough. I'm looking at this moon or this ring light. I don't know what it is. And it appears to me like darker patches. So maybe you've had a lot of challenges and difficulties and you've overcome them. And you're very protective over your heart. But I feel like pile number 3, you're surprising others on your willingness to allow your heart to be open. Yeah, you're a little bit maybe edgy or kind of self-protective, but you're willing to go at it again. You're willing to allow love to come into your life, whether this is platonic or romantic. You know, I think that you are just realizing that people are people. So, pile number 3, we have the Empress right here. This has got to be like by far the prettiest card in the entire deck. But with the Empress card, of course, this is about motherhood. This is about gestation. This is about giving birth. This is about having abundance, and however you think that is, however that looks like. I know pile number three, sorry. For myself, I've thought about abundance as having like the happy wife, happy life, all the, you know, the kids and the husband. And it didn't even matter if there was like a house that was owned by us that wasn't really in my brain. I really feel like you could be someone who really just thinks in abundance. And it's like, wow, if I have a full plate in front of my loved ones, then we're abundant. If I have support of my loved ones, then we are incredibly fortunate and abundant, and so on and so forth. Now, this also, I always represent the Empress as having a dream and a vision and a creative project within her. So for those of you that don't relate to the motherhood thing and the family thing, a lot of you guys could be content creators. I feel like currently right now you are in an era, sorry, I had to go there, where you're being recognized for being really connected with spirit, with, I heard elevation of taking off your mask. Also, I didn't notice, but she has peacock feathers on her. And I feel like with these peacock feathers, typically we see the peacock and we're like, wow, that's really impressive. And they're full of color and so on and so forth. But I feel like with these peacock feathers, they are white. And I think that the number 444 can mean something to you. Incredibly unusual, incredibly rare. I feel like pile number 3, you guys, my rare pile. You guys are my people that really think outside the box. I'm looking at her golden tears right here. And you could have, I think, out of hardship and things that really needed to be transmuted, you could have changed something massive in your life, such as addiction, a hard family life, or, you know, SA issues or DV issues, and so on and so forth. You get the point. But I feel like you've been able to really heal, bring healing, and transform that into something that is completely different. I feel like you are dearly, dearly loved, and you may not even know it. Now, pile number 3, we have the Lovers with Aphrodite and the Knight of Swords with Aries. And I look at this, it's like she's hugging a statue. So some of you guys are surprising others at the level of commitment that you have. Like, you still have a lot of love for people that are long gone and long out of your life, I feel. This could be a partner that has crossed over. And if that is the case, then I am so sorry. But it could also be people that have left your life or that you have left. Either way, I feel like you have a soft spot and a love for them, but you don't necessarily have them in your current life. Or yeah, it might be something that is very visible in like your mannerisms, or maybe you have a tendency to look and get a little bit nostalgic and people wonder what you're thinking, but you're thinking about those that you love that can't continue on this leg of the journey with you for whatever reason, whether physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual. And Aphrodite represents love. I feel like your crown chakra is popping with love and gratitude. And maybe you have this thing where you're surprising people because your nature is to want to cling to people, to, not in a bad way, but like when you love hard. I know pile number 3, that when I love fiercely, and I will go to battle for whomever and whatever. But I also feel pile number 1 is that this person, the statue that you are hugging metaphorically, is maybe somebody who's been immobile or maybe has not been in your life for a long, long time, and that you've made peace with that, but it still has that soft spot. You're human, right? You're not a human doing, you're a human being. And I feel like this is giving you a lot of clarity, or you recently have had a lot of clarity about this. And as you progress and go throughout the world, and how you are really surprising others is your ability to kind of look back and still appreciate what you were given or what you had mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and still have a lot of love and a soft spot for those things, but that you are not led any longer by emotion or by a false sense of loyalty. I feel like pile number 3, you're loyal to those who are loyal to you. And when I started to say that, pile number 3, I heard loyal to the foil. So you guys could be a little bit like me. Those air quotes, if you're not watching Conspiracy Theorist, which gets proven correct. time and time again. Pile number 3. How are you surprising others with a 3 of Raphael? Reason to celebrate. A community of friends. Happy announcements regarding relationship or children. Yeah, and I feel like your ships have come in. I feel like you've had to navigate really rough waters. I also feel like your friends and family do actually celebrate you and they're glad for you, even though things could have been really rough. I heard rough and ready, but that's actually a town out here too, by the way. Pile number 3, King of Gabriel, generous, inspirational, dramatic, and driven. Yeah, so how you are surprising others is by your drive. This person almost looks smarmy. Let's see how that gets clear. Keep your eyes on the big picture. Leave the details to others' experience. That leads to success, genuine concern, and a love for other people. And I can't help but notice on the back, right? This is all desolate. This is a desert. And I feel like you have come from a place that really didn't have a lot to offer. And I'm not even talking about like financial. It could be. But there was an emotional landscape or a backing that was just desolate. Nobody really backed you up. You had to really create and transform and become your highest self in order to give back to the world. I feel like you look at things in a radically different way, but you have all the tools, you know, to bring the milkshake to the yard. I don't know why I heard that, but anyways, let's see. How are you surprising others? With a star, a dream come true. Believe in yourself. I feel like you are an incredible example of what it's like to come from nothing. It's like I heard started from the bottom, now we're here. That song, right? But I feel like you are following your dream, and you are following a dream that maybe nobody else can see. Maybe nobody else believed in you, especially with this like desert landscaping in the back, or maybe you are from the desert. 1010 on the camera just now. So you could have put endings, right? So 1010, 2 massive endings in order for you to achieve your dream, your star. And here we talk about like the temperance. Usually it looks very similar to this. The temperance is, you know, balancing and having 1 foot in the water and 1 foot outside. And I feel like that's your mode of self-protection, is you've achieved a level of balance. So you don't allow yourself to be swayed wildly from one side to the other. And people are really shocked at your level of balance. Maybe this wasn't always so. I personally have had to really struggle to maintain balance because I tend to be more on the emotional side. So maybe you can relate to that. With the star right here, I feel like you have an incredibly good reputation, but you are keeping your head and nose to the ground. You are keeping your nose to the grindstone. You are focused on your healing. With the 17, it reduces to an 8. So I feel like this is really affecting your abundance. Or maybe pile number 3, this is creating your abundance, right? So something about you can appear, I don't know. I'm getting a lot of, what was that show that we were all in love with? G-O-T-H, not goth, but the one where they kept saying winter is coming, and yeah, with the mother of dragons and so on and so forth. There could be an element of that in you as well, where, you know, she was betrayed by her brother, or in the harshest way, and really made as like an object of barter or something, you know, manipulation. So you could come from something like that. And I'm sorry for laughing. The image, yeah. Anyways, I feel like that as well. So pile number 3, if that is your upbringing, your legacy, or something about it, you know, and it doesn't have to be that extreme. It could be just as light as, oh, you know, I was kind of paraded around as my dad's girlfriend. He would say, oh, you know, like I was a girlfriend, and it just was inappropriate. So I feel like pile number 3, you could have some of those elements, some of that confusion mixed in with your rearing, your changing, and how you're surprising others is that you're out of that element. You're no longer, you've removed yourself. You've looked at the past, but with the swords, the Knight of Swords, you're quick to communicate. I feel like your words can cut deep like none other. I also feel like you are clear and concise and to the point. You do not like ambiguous situations or notions or relationships. That is not going to wash for you. Also, I'm looking at these like stairs, or it's an actual like bridge, but it to me looks like stairs, right? Stairs leading into the middle of nowhere. So I feel like you really have a foresight. You could be psychic. You could be able to have like precognitive notion about what's going to transpire and so on and so forth. I feel like there's something better waiting for you. Do what you know is right for you and a spiritual quest. You could have been on a long journey. With these two being 8s right here, I feel like your abundance is right around the corner. You have to just cross this little tiny bridge, not get distracted by the fake belief stairs leading to nowhere. You're just going to land on the other side and take longer and take more effort. Things are coming to you with ease, and maybe perhaps like there's somebody waiting for you on the other side. So maybe if you are partner, not partnered, you have somebody literally waiting to assist you, but I feel lush and abundance and protection. And I don't know, you could have a lot of like forest protection, forest fairies, forest animals, but also I feel like this could be like still water, and you are moving beyond that. Like that water is under the bridge. Currently, you have found a solid way over it, and if you have to, you can go up these, and you know that. But I feel like you are just going to gently glide over it and follow the flow of things into abundance and into a new realm for you. And people are really shocked by this. Maybe you are like a nature baby, and some of you guys could be like nudie babies. You could like to walk around in your chonies or in your undies, whatever that is. I don't know why I'm getting that, but that's for somebody here. You could like to be like naked babies, feeling the wind on your skin. What else do we have for pile 3? The ego self. Dismantling the ego is a crucial step to the biggest block of your true self. Must explore the nature of your ego. And I feel like that's already been done. But I feel, you know, with this, you might just have a lot of memories that are difficult to let go of, or a lot of loyalty in your heart, even though you're going to act with clarity and with wisdom. And the sword of truth that is always next to you. You allow people to tell you who they are, not by their words, but currently by their actions. And you, pile number 3, act accordingly. You're not easy to bamboozle. Yeah. Perspective shift. Phase of deep questioning, seeing through lies, delusions. Stop seeing life as you once did. A whole different perspective. I heard she's a bad mamma jamma, male or female. You could be seen as incredibly tough. Rock bottom. Must persevere and face life ahead to master a situation that challenge you and that push your boundaries, the boundaries of life. And I feel like that's what you've already done. Not that we ever stop growing and glowing. And in the pursuit, I feel like we learn by layers, and you are really well aware of that. And with this dry landscape in the back, you've already hit rock bottom many, many times. And I feel like that's why you have the promise of your dream and the lushness and things happening really fast. Look how beautiful this is. Last card, pile number 3, healing unresolved childhood scars, childhood trauma holding you back, exploring your childhood wounds. That's so beautiful. This child, I guess, became this older adult. And it's good to kind of look back and take what you can and close chapters as you can. You know, of course, the past, we can't change anything, but there's inner child wound healing that needs to be done. And maybe perhaps this here, the Lovers, connected with the Empress, has something to do with childhood healing. That was hard to say. So yeah, that's what I have for you. Much, much love to you. Until next time, namaste.